From a sorry monster poop cleaner to a One Punch Man clone, today I'll be telling the story of a main character Kafka, and how he went from a depressed street cleaner to becoming the strongest monster hunter in history. Our story begins in just a regular city with nothing dangerous or supernatural. Wait, is that an alligator? Nope, that's not an alligator. And there goes the first couple of people. They kill the baby within the first 20 seconds. That is just crazy. A kaiju alarm goes off. Kaiju meaning strange beast. It's huge, 60 meters to be exact, and probably already has a kill count well into the hundreds. The city is evacuated fast, which allows planes to attack the kaiju. The shots are fired only to get its attention in preparation for the 3rd Division. A girl with a gun called Mina jumps out of a plane and takes one shot at the kaiju, penetrating it, causing it to explode, spewing its insides everywhere. From a distance, Kafka sees this mess and knows he must clean this up with his crew. Mina walks through the town and is paraded like Jesus, or like Attack on Titan. Remember this? They begin cutting the kaiju into pieces to clean this up, and Kafka is forced to sort out the intestines, which is the worst part. Back home, he has a flashback to when him and Mina were kids and promised to kill all the kaiju. At his next day at work, a new person joins called Ichikawa. The boss embarrasses Kafka by saying how he gave up on his dreams to become a kaiju defender, and how he's just settled on cleaning. Ichikawa is more serious than Kafka, and says he'll never give up like Kafka. They are both given intestine duty the next day, which makes him feel sick later on. Kafka gives the kid nose plugs and a quick drink to help him through his first day. At the end of the day, Ichikawa thanks Kafka for the help and encourages him to try join the defense force again, as he can tell that he regrets giving up. Another kaiju comes out of the ground and attacks Ichikawa, but Kafka pushes him out of the way. He tells him to run and call for help, offering to fight it alone, knowing it would mean certain death. After 2 minutes of running away, he gets another childhood flashback which tells us how he lost everything to a kaiju, including one of his best friends called Miko. This is when Mina and Kafka both promise to join the defense force together. The kaiju catches up and smacks him, then slams him into the ground, severely damaging his leg. When he's about to be eaten, Ichikawa smacks the kaiju in the face, saving him. He says he couldn't abandon someone to die, especially whilst trying to join the defense force. We see Kafka getting his rejection papers, and he then starts cursing how he's weak and powerless. Ichikawa is now about to be crushed, but the white tiger saves him, and the kaiju is shot several times, causing it to explode. Mina is revealed to be the hero once again, and the team goes in to help the duo. In the hospital, Ichikawa motivates Kafka to try join the defense force again. A random bug is flying above Kafka and says "found you" before forcibly entering his mouth. He starts tweaking out hard, so Ichikawa draws his curtain, and to his shock, Kafka has turned into a super cool, half kaiju, half human hybrid. An old man walks past and reports a kaiju is in the hospital, where Mina gets this call and prepares to go take it out. Back at the hospital, Kafka tries to reassure the old man that he's a good guy, but this makes him faint. He approaches him and leans on the wall, where he figures out he has super strength as he accidentally pushes out the wall. Other patients then see him, so the duo decide to run. He opens the window. Correction, he destroys half the room, allowing them to both jump out. Running away, Ichikawa questions whether or not he is still human, as he's transformed into an octopus-like creature. The reality hits Kafka that it would be quite difficult to become a kaiju defender as a kaiju, which makes him pretty sad. I guess he's not seen Attack on Titan then. He senses another kaiju is approaching, and Ichikawa believes that since some of the defenders have to go after it, they can now easily escape. A little girl is crying as her mother is stuck underneath a shelf, and the mother tells her to run, but she refuses and tries to save her. The kaiju approaches the duo and prepares to eat them by slowly leaning in. Come on, the third AOT reference in 2 episodes. Kafka punches it, causing it to get knocked away really far. The girl, terrified of Kafka, begins crying again, until Ichikawa joins them. He finally lifts the shelf off the mother, but the kaiju approaches again. This time, he charges up his punch and hits it really hard, resulting in a lightning bolt to surge through it, causing it to explode, spewing its insides everywhere and also causing it to rain blood. He reassures the little girl that he won't hurt her, then his face turns back to normal. The defense squad arrives at the scene, confused as to what happened, and whilst Mina is talking to the little girl, she tells her about the good kaiju, which surprises her. 3 months later, they are still investigating and looking for Kafka. The old man from the hospital gives an interview as to what he saw that day. The duo receives a letter from the defense force, and Ichikawa takes both the letters and opens his, revealing he passed the entrance exam. On the way to give Kafka his letter, he opens it, and to his joy, he also passed. He sees Kafka chilling in kaiju form and lectures him about his lack of control. It is revealed that he has some control over his form, but he still struggles to hold it sometimes. After reading the letter, Kafka is worried about part 2 of the test, as they need to go to a heavily defended base. They arrive, and seeing the armed guards reminds Kafka that if he slips up, he will be killed in seconds. A blonde girl approaches the duo by calling Kafka an old man. She tells him to move his car, and angry with her attitude, he refuses. With the help of her suit, she powers up and lifts his car with one hand, surprising them. She then just throws the car on the ground, completely disrespecting them. Her name is revealed to be Kikyoru. She then sniffs him and tells him he reeks of kaiju. They begin the physical test and Kafka is really struggling. He gets ranked 219 out of 225, whereas Kikyoru is ranked 5. This is the guy running the test, and I'll just call him Bossman. He briefs Mina on the important people trying out this year. He focuses on Haruichi, Iharu, and Aoi, but the strongest one of them all is known as Kikuru. They are briefed on the next part of the test, and to their surprise, they need to defeat lots of kaiju in combat. They are given a suit made out of dead kaiju to help them in the fight. They are given a power scale out of 100%, with the average being about 8%. The strong candidates have a power percentages in the teens, but Kikyoru has a power level of 46%, which is a new record for newbies. Ironically, our main character has a power percentage of 0%. Now armed with kaiju killing guns, they are let into the arena. Their safety isn't guaranteed, but they do have a shield built in, but if it's activated, you will fail the test. They run off and Kikyoru takes the lead. She trick shots a kaiju in the first few seconds, then kills another one. This makes everyone else look useless. Kafka is struggling to carry his gun due to his low power, and they realize that they can't compete with her in combat abilities. He figures out that the test could also be testing their teamwork, so he drops his large rifle and rushes towards the nearest kaiju to help out. Using his knowledge of kaiju from his cleaning job, he throws a stun grenade at it, as he knows they have hypersensitive hearing. He then tells the others to shoot at its stomach, as that's its weak spot. This allows them to easily take it out. Mina and Bossman sees this, and are impressed. Whilst running, Kafka is ambushed by a kaiju, and is thrown into a wall. His vitals are critical, and Bossman prepares to activate his shield. However, out of nowhere, it gets shot at multiple times, shredding into pieces, and Kikyoru is revealed to be his savior. I guess this pays him back for the previous disrespect. Kafka's leg is broken, and his situation is looking bleak, but after a quick motivational flashback and the power of friendship, he manages to stand, revealing he's finally gained 0.1% power. Weakened from his injuries, Ichikawa decides to carry him on his back. Meanwhile, Kikyoru is still skillfully trickshotting every kaiju. She's basically just stealing kills to make herself look better to Bossman. She jumps at the final boss and throws a grenade at it, before standing in its mouth to get a direct shot through its intestines, killing it. The duo now rests feeling defeated as Kikyoru stole all the glory. However, she gets blasted in the chest by a human-like kaiju that can talk. Kaiju normally can't talk, by the way. Meanwhile, the other kaiju begin to self-revive, freaking out all of the other contestants. Kikyoru focuses all of her power to heal her wound quickly, however she is showered in rounds of blasts. Bossman, now sensing something is wrong, goes out into the field to sort everything out. She gets up again, just to get brutally smacked into the wall. Feeling hopeless and defeated, she gets a flashback to her childhood. She is flexing how she was top of her class, but she is jealous of the other kids who have good fathers. When she goes home, her dad gives her a cold-hearted reply to her being top of her class. He then tells her to be perfect to honor her late mother. With this motivation, she gets back up, but she quickly gets smacked back down. But now her arm is mangled, and there is no way for her to carry on fighting. Just as the kaiju is charging up a final attack, Kikyoru starts apologizing to her father for not being perfect, but Kafka comes in and commends her skills. The attack goes off and we see he has transformed into his kaiju form. He begs her not to tell anyone about his secret before casually smacking away a huge blast like it was nothing. Now getting serious, he begins to charge up a strong attack. Bossman detects him charging up and he has a fortitude of 9.8, which will make him one of the strongest kaijus ever. The kaiju rushes him and gets ready to punch. They both throw their punches at the same time, but the kaiju is significantly weaker as the flesh is evaporated off its bones, before exploding, leaving another rain of blood. He then backhands another kaiju, evaporating it as well. Ichikawa finds him and scolds him for revealing his identity. However, whilst they are arguing, Kikyoru faints. Mina and Bossman are examining the aftermath and are in shock. However, Bossman makes a connection to 3 months ago to when Kafka first killed a kaiju with his new powers. In the hospital, the duo banters a bit, until Mina enters to thank Ichikawa for carrying Kikyoru to the hospital. Bossman visits her and thanks her for killing the boss kaiju, to which she agrees to help keep Kafka's secrets. We then see the human-like kaiju that resurrected the other kaiju in the toilet, and we see it transforming into a human, and it even works with Kafka's old crew in cleanup. Nervously waiting around, the duo eventually receives the letters that will decide whether or not they were accepted or not. Kafka slowly opens his papers and has a shocked expression. At headquarters, we can see all of the important characters have been accepted, including Ichikawa. However, there is no sight of Kafka, so everyone assumes that Kafka failed. Kikiori is called up to be celebrated for killing the boss kaiju, however she feels guilty as the praise should be going to Kafka instead. He eventually comes in late, revealing that he did pass. A flashback shows that he initially failed, but Bossman tells the others that he believes in Kafka as he helped the others with killing kaiju with his knowledge. But he mainly wants him because he's funny and comedy goes a long way in their field of work. Whilst Mina is giving a welcome speech, Kafka accidentally shouts that he wants to be by her side, shocking everyone with their informality. He is punished with push-ups, which makes Bossman laugh. However, secretly Bossman suspects that Kafka was behind the 9.8 magnitude from earlier. This happened as soon as Kafka's vitals disappeared, so he actually only accepted Kafka as he wanted to keep a close eye on him. Kikiori later talks to Kafka about the whole half kaiju thing, where she reassures him that he'll keep his secret, but she threatens that if he becomes dangerous, then she'll put him down. However, I think this is a pretty useless threat, as he is way stronger than her. Ichikawa is doing combat training, where the objective is to shoot the targets. He gets a time of about 2 minutes, and his combat power has improved greatly from the beginning. There is quite a lot of competition between the squad, causing everyone to try their best. Everyone's power score has increased by 5 to 10%. Kikiori finishes the course in 1 minute, which has a large contrast to Kafka, as he does his in almost 7 minutes. Furthermore, his power was only increased to 1%. Bossman threatens to kick Kafka out if he doesn't improve faster. They then all shower together, which builds some rapport. That is a pretty sus statement. They all share their reasons for joining the force, and they all seem to have joined for Mina, as she was like some kind of superhero to them. So when Kafka tells them that they were childhood friends and promised to fight kaiju together, this really surprises them. A montage of the squad running, strategizing, eating, chilling, and more training, and just casually living together is shown. However, at the end of the day, Kafka is still seen always falling behind, holding everyone back. When everyone is sleeping, we see Kafka tiredly studying. Bossman approaches him and confronts him about his goal of being by Mina's side. He knows that he wants his job, and Kafka tells him that he will take it. Bossman accepts his challenge. As he's leaving, an alarm goes off, signaling a kaiju attack is happening, waking everyone up. Everyone has evacuated out of the area where the kaiju is predicted to move to. The kaiju is revealed to be a giant mushroom monster and is believed to be in its reproductive phase. When it arrived, loads of mini kaiju also appeared. They decided that Mina should kill it at Section B to minimize damage. They are scouting for the kaiju at Section B, where they are told that it's their job to not let any of the mini kaijus escape Section B. Kafka tries to fight the kaiju head on, but he is headbutted and lands in a pile of trash. This causes the veterans to mock the new recruits. However, Kikiori quickly kills one, then a whole army of them, gaining everyone's respect. The others are also killing many kaijus, impressing the veterans. Hearing the kill count makes Kafka feel useless, so he decides to do what he does best, investigating dead kaiju. He cuts into a kaiju and finds the core. He also finds out about the reproductive organs that they have to destroy to stop more from spawning in. He tells Bossman this, and he relays all this information onto the others. Mina on the roof with a huge gun locks in on the boss kaiju. She begins to charge up her gun, and it's revealed that her combat power is 96%. She then fires a nuclear level blast at the kaiju, blowing a massive crater in it. She then fires another shot, evaporating its head. It collapses and looks pretty dead, but Mina shoots it again. It's now confirmed dead, but she shoots it again. Okay, this now seems a bit overkill. Bossman approaches Kafka and reminds him that he needs to be strong to stand by Mina. He's attacked from behind and pulls the classic cut into pieces without even seeing the sword jutsu. He flexes his strength on him, saying he came from a family of sword people, hence his immense strength. Another massive swarm of mini kaiju erupt from the dead boss, and kaiju begin marching through the city. Their new mission is to clear out the swarm. Even though the squad is tired, they decide to still head back into battle. While searching for more kaiju, Ichikawa and Iharu find someone in a kaiju clean uniform. They confront the man as the battle is still ongoing, but he turns around revealing to be the intelligent kaiju from before, and he has visual features of a kaiju on his face. That's all for this video. At the time of recording, not all the episodes are out, so I decided it is best for me to split the video into 2 parts. Make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you'll be notified when part 2 comes out. Like, share and comment any other animes you would like to see recap next. Look out and take care.